He'd pounce on it, swat it with his paws, and chase it as it bounced off ancient tree trunks. He was completely lost in his own little world of fun when his best friend, Mia, the monkey, swung down from a nearby branch. Her long tail curled in a happy loop. Mia was always full of cheerful energy, and her smile was as bright as the jungle orchids. "Hi, Leo," she chattered excitedly. "That looks like so much fun. Can I please play with you and your ball?" Mia looked at the bouncing ball with hopeful, sparkling eyes, imagining all the fun games they could play together. Leo stopped in his tracks, holding the ball protectively between his paws. He looked at his favorite toy, then at Mia's eager face. A stubborn feeling crept into his heart. He wanted the ball all to himself. He hugged it tighter and shook his fluffy head firmly. "No, Mia," he said with a little frown. "It's my ball. It's mine." The words came out sounding harsher than he intended. Mia's bright smile faded, replaced by a look of surprise and sadness. Her shoulders slumped, and her cheerful chatter fell silent. "Oh," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "Okay." Without another word, she turned and slowly walked away, her long tail dragging sadly on the ground behind her. Leo watched her go for a moment, feeling a strange twinge in his chest, but he quickly pushed it aside and went back to his ball. But somehow, playing alone wasn't as fun anymore. The ball didn't seem to bounce as high, and the sun didn't seem as bright. Later that afternoon, after a long nap in the shade of a big banyan tree, Leo woke up feeling energetic again. He had a brilliant idea. He wanted to play a big game of jungle tag, his second favorite game after playing with his ball. He stretched his little lion limbs, let out a tiny roar to announce his intentions, and trotted off to find his friends. First, he saw Zoe the zebra and her brother, practicing their galloping near a patch of tall grass. "Ty, Zoe, want to play tag?" Leo called out eagerly. Zoe glanced over, but she just shook her head and continued her run. "Sorry, Leo, we're busy right now," she called back. Leo felt a bit disappointed, but brushed it off. Next, he spotted Gary the giraffe, munching on the highest, juiciest leaves of an acacia tree. "Gary, hey, Gary, let's play tag," Leo shouted, craning his neck to look up at his towering friend. Gary looked down, chewed thoughtfully for a moment, and then replied, "No thank you, Leo, I'm enjoying my lunch." Leo's ears drooped. He couldn't understand why no one wanted to play with him. The jungle was usually filled with games and laughter. He even tried asking Ellie the elephant, who was playfully spraying water with her trunk by the riverbank, but she just said she was having too much fun with her family. One by one, all of his friends seemed to be busy or simply uninterested in playing with him. Feeling dejected, Leo went and sat all by himself on a large mossy rock overlooking the river. The jungle, which was usually so full of life and joy, now felt quiet and empty. He watched his friends playing together in the distance. He saw Mia, the monkey, laughing as she played a vine-swinging game with the parrot twins. He saw Zoe, the zebra, happily chasing butterflies with Gary the giraffe. Everyone had someone to play with. Everyone was having fun. Except for him. A deep sadness washed over him, and he felt a lump form in his throat. He was lonely. It was a feeling he wasn't used to, a heavy, empty ache in his little lion heart. He put his head on his paws and let out a small, sad sigh that was lost in the sounds of the jungle. As he sat there feeling sorry for himself, his thoughts drifted back to that morning. He vividly remembered the hopeful look on Mia's face when she asked to play with his ball. Then, he pictured her sad, disappointed expression when he told her no. He remembered how her shoulders had slumped and how she had walked away so slowly. A wave of guilt washed over him. He had made his best friend feel sad, all because he didn't want to share his silly toy. He realized that holding onto his ball so tightly had pushed his friend away. Maybe sharing isn't so bad after all, he whispered to himself. Maybe sharing is how you keep your friends close. Maybe it's better to have friends to play with than to just have toys all to yourself. At that moment, Leo understood. The fun wasn't just in the toy itself, but in the joy of playing with someone you care about. The next morning, Leo woke up with a new determination. He wasn't going to be a selfish lion anymore. He picked up his favorite reed ball, clutched it tightly, and went to find Mia. He found her sitting by the river, skipping stones across the water with a wistful look on her face. Leo's heart beat a little faster. He took a deep breath and walked up to her. "Mia," he said softly. Mia looked up, surprised to see him. "I'm sorry about yesterday," Leo said, his voice sincere. He looked down at his paws, feeling a little shy. "I was wrong not to share. My ball isn't as fun without my best friend. Would you like to play with me now?" He held the ball out to her, an offering of friendship. Mia's sad face instantly broke into a huge, radiant smile. It was the cheerful, bright smile that Leo had missed so much. She didn't even hesitate. She jumped up and wrapped her long arms around Leo in a big, warm hug. "Oh, Leo, of course I'll play with you. I thought you didn't want to be my friend anymore," she chattered happily. Leo hugged her back, feeling a huge weight lift from his shoulders. His heart felt light and full of happiness. They spent the entire day playing together. They rolled the ball back and forth. They invented a new game of jungle bowling with fallen mangoes, and they laughed until their bellies ached. It was the most fun Leo had ever had. Even Zoe, Gary, and Ellie joined in, and soon the clearing was filled with the joyful sounds of friends playing together. From that day forward, Leo became the best sharer in the whole jungle, shared his bouncy ball, his smooth river stones, and even his favorite napping spot in the sun. He discovered that sharing his toys didn't mean he had less. It meant he had more fun, more laughter, and more friends. He learned that the joy of seeing his friends' happy faces was a far greater treasure than any toy. And because he was so kind and generous, Leo the little lion was never ever lonely again. He was always surrounded by friends who loved to play with him, not because of the toys he had, but because of the wonderful, sharing friend he had become. The moral of this story is a simple but very important one. Sharing your toys and your time is a wonderful thing. Because sharing doesn't just make others happy, it makes you happy too. It's the best way to make and keep wonderful friends. Thank you so much for listening to Leo's story today. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more fun stories. See you next time.